Hello Bookish friends, this Tuesday I'm coming to you with another Jane Austen July tag. I was tagged in this tag by Rose at Skadi Dangling about the books, who does great Jane Austen July videos, by the way. You should definitely check her videos because she has very fruitful discussions about Jane Austen and the books that we read in Jane Austen July. The name of the tag is Jane Austen at Home tag. Jane Austen at Home is actually also the title of the book that I'm reading for Jane Austen July. I'm buddy reading this non-fiction book with Naomi at Naomi's bookshelf, and I'm really enjoying learning more about Jane Austen and the homes that she lived in. And coincidentally, I'm also recording this book in another home of mine, which is our summer house in one of the coast seaside districts in Izmir. At the time that I'm filming this video, I'm at holidays, and I'm spending my holiday at this home near seaside. Before starting the questions, it says that start by tagging someone who's participating in Jane Austen July. I'm going to tag 3 booktubers. 2 of them are very new to me. One of them is Inking Your Thinking and Shelly Swearingen. I think her surname is pronounced like that. If I pronounced it wrong, sorry Shelly. And I will also tag another booktuber that I'm very much enjoying her Jane Austen July videos, who is Tori at Hufflepuff Discovery. So let's get on with the questions. The first question is Mansfield Park. The grandeur of the house astonished, but could not console her. Name a grand book that may or may not have been difficult to read. I will say Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I actually enjoyed this book and I gave it 4 stars. On the other hand, I was very much overwhelmed while I was reading this book. I felt like I was reading 4 separate books, which were all very good, but it was really a tiring experience for me. But I would really advise you to read this book because it's actually a very good psychological drama. Question 2. Barton Cottage, from Sense and Sensibility. In comparison of Norland, it was poor and small indeed. Name a book about a household in difficult circumstances. I have a very distinctive answer for this question. To Live by Yo-Ho. I think I have never read a book about a family who was in so difficult circumstances before. And it is also very interesting. It all takes place in the main character's ancestral home, and how the home became one of the richest houses and to one of the most impoverished houses in the country, with the changing regime and the political environment in China. Question 3. Hartfield, which is from Emma, of course. I believe few married women are half as much as mistress of their husband's house as I am of Hartfield. Name a book that you feel entirely the mistress or master of. I will say And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, although it is not the book that I have reread the most, because I have watched many adaptations, and because when I reread the book, I try to get all the details, which leads to the very surprising conclusion. I think I'm very much the mistress of this novel. Question 4. Fullerton, from Northanger Abbey. Now there was nothing so charming to her imagination as the unpretending comfort of a well-connected parsonage, something like Fullerton. Name a book containing a contented family. I think Beyond the Gathering Storm by Janet Oak could be a good answer for this question. In this installment of the series, Elizabeth and Wynne have raised their family, and they are living in a bit more comfortable conditions than their live in the north. They have been fortunate enough to adopt two children. I think our main couple in the previous books are very content with their lives. And also the children are very happy, especially at the beginning of the book, to be a part of such a family, and they consider themselves very, very lucky. Question 5. Rosings Park, from Pride and Prejudice. He declared he might also have supposed himself in the small summer breakfast parlor at Rosings, a comparison that did not at first convey much gratification. Name a book that other books are constantly being compared to. I think this book could be The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It's a wonderful book about relationship between two sisters who actually have hard time getting along. And it's a wonderful World War II historical fiction. And it is one of the books that almost everyone cries at the end. So I think because of these three reasons, most of the historical fiction books, especially World War II historical fictions, are being compared to The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Question 6. HMS Sloop the Asp, from Persuasion. Quite worn out and broken up, I was the last man who commanded her. Show us a book that is looking worse for wear. For this question, I'm actually going to show my Kindle cover. It is getting torn up from here, and the colors are also beginning to fade. And as you can see, they are here. So I think I need to buy a new cover for this Kindle. But I also really do like the flowers in this Kindle, and it has become synonymous with me. So I think I need to find a cover that I like as much as this one to replace this cover. Question 7. Northanger Abbey. An abbey, yes, it was delightful to be really in an abbey, but she doubted as she looked around the room whether anything within her observation would have given her the consciousness. Name a book that wasn't as creepy, as dramatic as you thought it would be. I will say Autopsy Room 4 by Stephen King. It started actually with a very promising plot. A man who is not actually dead but paralyzed is taken to an autopsy room. He is about to be go through an autopsy alive, but the story dragged on and on, and the ending was actually one of the worst endings that I have ever read in a short story. It was a big disappointment as well. Question 8. Portsmouth, from Mansfield Park. The smallness of the house and the thinness of the walls brought everything so close to her. The added fatigue of her journey and all her recent agitation, she hardly knew how to bear it. Name a book that disappointed you when you revisited it. One of my favorite book series when I was a child was Famous Five by Enid Blyton, and last year for middle grade March I read the first book on the series, which was 500 Treasure Island. I was really disappointed because first of all, it was very small. It had a very slow tempo compared to the modern books, and as an adult, I have a very different viewpoint about those little children who are unsupervised and goes through many adventures and even spends a night in the island. In this contemporary environment, it's really hard to imagine such a thing. So it was disappointing in that manner as well. And lastly, because it was written many years ago, some of the views were really outdated. So I think this book fitted this question perfectly. Question 9. Kenlich Hall, from Persuasion. Principal seat, Kenlich Hall, in the county of Somerset. Name a book from your ancestral home. I will talk about a book that was written by a descendant of the minorities who lived in Izmir once. The Ghost of Smyrna by Lauren Edizel. This book was a really good historical fiction book about the occupation of Izmir, and the story is told from the point of view of the Greek minorities in the town, and I thought it was a very emotional read since they were displaced from their homes at the end. And it was also refreshing to read from another point of view than the Turkish point of view about that time. Question 10. Pemberley from Pride and Prejudice. They had now entered a beautiful walk by the side of the water, and every step was bringing forward a nobler fall of ground. Name a book you are ready to dive into. Yeah, that scene, yes. Anyway, I'm very eager to dive into the third book in the Winston Brothers series. We made a plan of buddy reading this book with Rainy at Rainy Day Reads and Angie at Literary Labors. This book is about Cleistus Winston, who's also the favorite character and sort of a bookish crush of Rainy, so it will be really enjoyable to buddy read this book with the girls. And we have a bonus question. Which of these households would you most like to live in? I think I will choose either Fullerton or Pemberley because I like cozy, and I also do really want to dive into sea in this hot weather. So those were my answers for the questions of Jane Austen at home tag. Thank you, Rose, again for tagging me. It made me evaluate the books from a very different point of view, considering the homes. I really would like to know your answers about the bonus question. Which household would you like to live in the most? And additionally, if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, since I'm at my summer house, I thought summer house should be the word of the day. Summer house means yazlık in Turkish, and yazlık is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.